Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War 2, and this is my insane difficulty guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Act 4-6. It is entitled Royal Inquisition. There is actually some more ammo in the way back in that room that you start out in. They give you a bunch of good stuff here. They give you the torque bow, they give you the Gorgon pistol over here, and you can max it out. And it's actually crazy how much ammunition you can get for the Gorgon pistol. It's like upwards of 500 rounds. So what I would do is I would definitely pick up the torque bow if I were you, and max everything out as much as you can. And then we do have a boss fight at the end of the video. It's the Scourge boss fight, and we do have a path selection here. So of course we're going to do both paths, but I did want to mention that the enemies that you fight on these paths, if it's not exactly the same, it is definitely similar, and I really, it's kind of redundant to cover both paths, but I do feel like the right path is a little bit more difficult for some reason. I just really don't know. I struggle on it a little bit more than the left path for some reason. I really don't know, because the layouts are all the same, but and the enemies, they're, like I said, if they're not exactly the same spawns, they're very, very similar. Okay, so at first, your teammates are going to ask you. I mean, you're gonna suggest that you help your teammates on the other side, but you've got definitely enough on your plate over here. So while you don't have to help your teammates on the other side, you truly don't. You do need to be worried about any enemy on the other side that has a torque bow, because they can definitely snipe you, and of course you're immediately dead. And of course any other enemy that has, a long-range weapon, that can be a threat. So you're going to be dealing with some maulers too, so obviously they're not going to be a threat if they're on the other side. But I do really enjoy using the shield to have movable cover. It's really nice to be able to have this, and it's helpful too when you don't have enough cover, or you're in an awkward bind. It's more of an awkward bind on the other side for some reason. I really don't know why it's a little bit different. It could be psychosomatic in my mind. Probably is, in fact. But I do have the Lancer over here. And when you get into the next room, there's going to be a door that blocks the way, so you cannot open that door. You need to go on the other side. I really enjoy the fights on this chapter. They're extremely fun. The music is fantastic, and the layouts are just beautiful too. And this is all in 60 frames. 4K, 60 hertz. You cannot complain. But when you do get to about this area, you need to be careful of Theron guards from the other side, of course, and there's also some Theron guards that can come from that area that I just was pointing at, and there's also a mauler that can come over here. Sometimes he won't, he'll just go backwards, but it's nice to have the shield over here. I don't have it currently, but it is nice to be able to put a little cover for yourself over here. I'm gonna stick a grenade to the wall right there. I'm not sure if it's gonna work out, but this is definitely, when you get to this point on each side, this is definitely the part that you want to be most careful on, because you're going into a situation where you can get easily hit from the other side. So if you want to be extremely careful, if you're worried about this part a lot, make sure that you clear any threats on the other side that you can, because then if you do that, your teammates can assist you as well. But I mentioned the Lancer a moment ago, and I just wanted to say, yeah, this grenade's not going to work out, so I'm just going to shoot it out of the way. I'm always hesitant to use the hammer burst. I like it, and I've been using it on this walkthrough for variety, but it has such a small magazine. It only has 17 rounds on it, and you can fire it fast by clicking the trigger faster. See this part right here? It's really nice to have a shield here, because that can protect you from torque bows. You can also, when you're in this position behind the shield, you can aim over the left shoulder and then move out of cover while you're aiming, and then preserve your aiming over the left shoulder. So it's actually really handy, and you can bring the shield down to the next fight too. But I don't know why. See, the hammer burst is strange in every game. It feels like it's not as good as the Lancer to have at any moment in this game. I mean, you can zoom in a little bit with it, which is really nice. But I really think that it should have more it should do more damage than the Lancer. And maybe, hell, it does, but I don't think so, you know. But to give it some sort of reason to have it, I really think that it should do more damage, because it doesn't have, you know, it has 17 rounds per magazine. That's really low. So anyway, that's the left path. I'm not going to go to the switch until we get to the right path at the end, because why go to the switch at the end on both? Anyway, so when you start this, there's 2 Theron guards right there with that elite mauler, and I don't remember that it was like that on the other part. I thought it was just one mauler and one. I mean, yeah, just one mauler and one Theron guard. I wasn't sure, so the spawns could be a little different, but they're, like I said, if they're not the same, they're extremely similar. So yeah, the hammer burst. Why have it? I mean, the Lancer is so fast and reliable, and you get a damage boost with it that's incredible. I don't know the exact specs for it, but it's fantastic. But I don't always want to use the Lancer on the walkthrough. That's the thing, because it is kind of a boring weapon to watch. Probably the most boring weapon to watch in the game. So that's why I have been using the hammer burst, just for variety's sake. So when you do clear your haul, you're going to go to the lift switch. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't show that on the other part. So again, we have a similar room over here with a Theron and these little creatures here that are obnoxious as hell. But when you get downstairs, the fights are extremely fun. You have cover that is responsive to where you're at, and it automatically gives you cover when you're next to it. It's extremely fun. The boss fight is what it is. I really don't care for it too much, but I will show you the best way to deal with it and what you need to look out for. Okay, so again, we're coming up on we're going into no man's land over here. So you want to take care of any threat on the other side. Not the mauler, you know, he's pointless. But when you do go around the corner, you can run into guards, Theron guards, and the mauler. So you might want to stick the shield there. That will prevent sometimes the mauler from being able to come over to you, and some of the guards. And then you could also plant grenades over here too, for anybody who might walk over there. And they do come over here. Watch this. They will come over here. We have a guard right there. He's going to get hit by the grenade, but I don't think he got damaged much at all. So see, you don't want to go around the corner and have to deal with that type of enemy right next to you. It's very dangerous. So what I would recommend is you want to take the shield and stake your claim, as it were. Oh, fuck. I forgot about him. Yeah, sometimes he gets trapped behind it. He can't move. But Cole does a great job of taking him down. Good boy, Cole. But again, you want to take the shield and stake your claim over here, like I said, in the corner, so you have protection. And again, you can just aim around. You can lean out of cover over here, and it's fantastic. And you've got protection from the torque arrows. I'm not saying you're never going to get killed by one, but it's much better. Wouldn't you agree? Because it's just so handy to be leaning out of cover over here. You can throw nades and everything else. If you want to waste all your grenades over here, all 4 of them, there are 4 downstairs that you can immediately pick up. Well, maybe not immediately, but you can pick them up quickly in a way that I will show you. And just for the sake of fun, I am going to take this shield downstairs and just show you how it can give you a little protection on the first fight when you're activating a switch that lowers some stairs. Oh, also when you get over here, there's always a mauler that spawns. And when the fight's done, you can go on the other side too and pick up all of the ammunition that your teammates left for you from kills. But I did want to mention that there is a ton of ammunition downstairs, so you really don't need much. What do you want to take downstairs? Definitely the torque bow and the lancer, I would suggest. And then your choice of the sidearm. And the shield, you know, I'm just doing it for fun. Because I like the idea of being able just to bring it down. You know, have it travel with you downstairs. These fights down here actually are really fun. I think there's 3 fights, and they're all on the same checkpoint, but you don't need to worry because it's not too arduous. So, just for a little bit of fun, I like to stake the shield right there so that I can pull this switch, which is optional. You don't need to pull this switch, but if you do, you'll lower 2 staircases, and there's frag grenades on each side, so feel free to use your frag grenades. Feel free to use everything you want before Scourge, because what's going to happen is they're going to take away all your stuff, which is really annoying, and put weapons on different slots than you want to, which is always annoying for me because I like to have the weapons on the different slots, you know. Okay, so there's 2 there, and then I did want to point out that right over here, right about there, would be a mortar if this were on any other difficulty beside insane. So the fact that there is no mortar there proves that this is on insane, just in case you were wondering about that or worried about that. Because I've done all the other difficulties down here just out of the curiosity, and they do give you a mortar on hardcore mode down. So the Scourge boss fight, this took me a good hour. It's a pure and utter shit show. If you like the Scourge boss fight, that's perfectly fine, but I find that it's too easy to get arbitrarily killed. But it is pattern based, I have to give it that. So it's not like you're going to be surprised by anything except maybe your own death. Like I said, seemingly just out of the clear blue sky, getting killed by just tickers or ink grenades or his weapon. He's really dangerous with his pistol. But since there's not going to be that much time to talk about him during the fight, because it's a pretty brief fight, I wanted to talk about that there is just one cycle of repeating steps that happens. So the first thing you're going to do when you get to Scourge is that you're going to be put into a QuickTime event. I wanted to make sure that you know that you do have to tap the B button on all of the QuickTime events except the first one. You can just hold the B button down on the first QuickTime event. And I noticed something kind of funny that I do incorporate into the fight. Actually, you can switch to the shotgun right when the fight starts. Oh, that right there, it says switch. There is a yellow part of that ground that is lit in yellow light that you can press at the beginning of the fight, but there's nothing to do after that. So the fact that it does say switch right there is redundant, and it's just, I think what it is just prepping you for what you're going to do on the Scourge fight, because there's going to be times when the cover lowers, which is really dangerous, and you need to run over the area where the switch is, and you only do that when the cover's lowered and there's a yellow light on the ground that you run over. Yeah, so you can switch to the shotgun at first, and it actually puts you into the chainsaw animation with the shotgun, so it's actually kind of hilarious. But when you have it like that with the shotgun, you can get off a couple of shotgun blasts to him, about 2. Usually a 2. Usually he jumps away before you can hit him 3 times. But you can hit him with the shotgun at first, and deal some pretty good damage. And this is all about putting as much damage on him as possible to finish him off quickly. So the first thing that he does though after that cutscene is that you're going to be dealing with 3 things that happen simultaneously. He's going to be firing at you with his gun, running around on the other side of the room that you're on. He's going to be summoning tickers, and he's also going to be throwing ink grenades. So you've got 3 things that you have to look out for simultaneously. And there's just times where it just doesn't work, and you can't possibly survive because there's too much shit happening all at once. It's really unfortunate. I like the whole idea of the fight, but I just don't like being arbitrarily killed on this particular difficulty. Even hardcore it would be difficult because you don't get a second chance on hardcore either. For this Gears of War 2 game, hardcore, you don't get a chance to get revived by your teammates. Okay, so he's going to fire at you first. Well, there's one more fight, and it's not a fight before Scourge, so don't even worry about picking anything up. This next encounter, all you have to do is just get on the wheel and spam A. And you can get killed to this. I really don't even know what this is all about because it's just a complete waste of time here. You don't have to kill anybody. I did die once while I was trying to do this, so it's not going to be perfect every time that you just jump on the wheel and turn it and don't get killed. But that's all you have to do. That's literally all you have to do. And then don't even worry about picking up ammo on this part either because they're gonna give you a set amount of ammunition for your weapons. They're not going to give you any grenades. They're going to take those away, and they're going to give you the Lancer, the shotgun, and the snub. So again, you can see right away that I am going to switch to the shotgun, and I'm mostly doing this kind of for fun, and also because I think that putting a little bit of damage on him with the shotgun is a pretty good idea because it does a lot of good damage. But that's the last we're going to use with the shotgun. I'm going to be firing indiscriminately throughout the entire fight too, just so that when I'm ready I can reload and get an active reload. A perfect active reload, I should say, ideally. But Dom is going to try to help you with the tickers. Marcus is going to say that we need help with these tickers, Dom, but Dom usually doesn't do that great of a job with it. But at this point he's going to cut down a stalactite. You don't need to run very far away from the stalactites, but you need to run, obviously, out of the way. And at this point, he's going to throw ink grenades. So this is the third part of it. The fourth part is that he cuts down one of these pillars. And these pillars, you have to get clear on the other side of the fucking room. You have to get out of the way as far as you possibly can. And at this point, tickers are going to get summoned, and then he's going to rush you. And then you want to just shoot him as much as you can while he's rushing you, and then participate in the quick time event. And then when he's down, just hit him with as much as you can with your weapon. Notice that the cover's down, so we've got to run over this switch. Watch out for the stalactite too. I got knocked down there. That happens sometimes where you just get a lucky break. This is on insane difficulty, so don't worry about it. That does happen where you just get pushed over, staggered. Okay, so now you're going to get a prompt to press Y. But if you're looking at a certain part of the room, he's going to go on the opposite side. So what you want to do is just look at the side of the room that you're closest at, and then it'll give you the Y prompt, and then you've got this to deal with. This is probably one of the harder parts of the fight because, like I said, he's shooting at you, tickers are coming at you, and he's throwing ink grenades. So I would definitely recommend trying to get the tickers out of the way, using the good old SWAT turn for handy turns, and then that's it. You've got the stalactite falling again. And then you've got him doing the pillar, so you need to get out of the way. Like, you really have to fucking get out of the way when he does that. Dom will even say jump too. So jump too if you have to, but take advantage of when he when you get that Y prompt so you can see where he's at. So here's another quick time event. You just want to shoot him as much as possible. You need to run over the switch again, and then it's very, I should say this, but it's very important that you get into cover because he will shoot you with that pistol and you'll die so fast it's not even funny. But here we've got more tickers, and Jesus Christ. You see this? It's just a mess, and I don't like this at all. But keep firing at him. He's gonna jump away now, and then per his usual routine, he's going to chop down the pillar. So we need to get out of the way fast and far. Run fast and far. If you remember that, you're good. Then he's gonna rush you, and then this should be the last time he has to rush you. If you're doing the quick time event and some of the tickers are around you blowing up, you don't get killed, so that is pretty nice. But it's all pattern based. It happens the same way every time. But again, you get arbitrarily killed, and it's so frustrating it's not even funny. But that has been the Scourge boss fight. That is the final chapter of Act 4. We will see each other again soon, and that will be the final act, the 5th act, and we shall see each other presently. I hope that helped you out. Until then, please take care.
Well, there are 2 more Reavers back there. It's worth a shot. Move out! Let's go! Bridge is connected! We need to get to those Reavers!